Yo, welcome to another episode of A Chapter a Day to Keep the Devil Away. I am Tanayashe, and we're going to be reading Genesis 12. Quick recap from yesterday, takeaway from yesterday. Genealogies matter because of who they are pointing to. At least that's what I'm thinking. They are pointing to someone. Yesterday it was Abram. Tomorrow it may be somebody else. But there's a thread happening, and it's worth paying attention to. Don't skip it over, All right. Genesis chapter 12. The call of Abram. The Lord had said to Abram, "Leave your native country, your relatives, and your father's family, and go to the land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you and make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who treat you with contempt. All the families on earth will be blessed through you." So Abram departed as the Lord had instructed, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all his wealth, his livestock, and all the people he had taken into his household at Haran, and headed for the land of Canaan. When they arrived in Canaan, Abram traveled through the land as far as Shechem. There he set up camp beside the oak of Moreh. At that time, the area was inhabited by Canaanites. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "I will give this land to your descendants." And Abram built an altar there and dedicated it to the Lord, who had appeared to him. After that, Abram traveled south and set up camp in the hill country with Bethel to the west and Ai to the east. There he built another altar and dedicated it to the Lord, and he worshipped the Lord. Then Abram continued traveling south by stages toward the Negev. Abram and Sarai in Egypt. At that time, a severe famine struck the land of Canaan, forcing Abram to go down to Egypt, where he lived as a foreigner. As he was approaching the border of Egypt, Abram said to his wife Sarai, "Look, you are a very beautiful woman. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife. Let's kill him. Then we can have her.' So please tell them you are my sister. Then they will spare my life and treat me well because of their interest in you." And sure enough, when Abram arrived in Egypt, everyone noticed Sarai's beauty. When the palace officials saw her, they sang her praises to Pharaoh, their king, and Sarai was taken into his palace. Then Pharaoh gave Abram many gifts because of her: sheep, goats, cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels. But the Lord sent terrible plagues upon Pharaoh and his household because of Sarai, Abram's wife. So Pharaoh summoned Abram and accused him sharply. "What have you done to me?" he demanded. "Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister and allow me to take her as my wife? Take her and get out of here." Pharaoh ordered some of his men to escort them, and he sent Abram out of the country along with his wife and all his possessions. It's a quick one. All right, Abram was doing some shady stuff. I don't know. My takeaway is more of just a question, honestly. I mean, there's something to be said about, God showing up and Abram just responding with his yes. I think that's important. But I always wonder in that moment, just because there were like good results for him, just because people responded the way that he thought they would, does that mean that it was the right thing? Was he being shrewd, or was he lacking faith? And ultimately, I'm not going to know the answer to that. I do know in the future that he comes up later in the New Testament, and his faith is mentioned, and he is commended for his faith. But my question is, in that moment, was he being faithful, or was he operating in fear? And because if he was being shrewd and then Pharaoh was getting plagues put on him as a result of his shrewdness, then I'd be like, okay, well, which one is it? And if it was him operating out of fear and sometimes you get good stuff when you lie, like, I don't know. I really don't know. It's a question that I've had pretty regularly as I've read that story. But I'm here to exemplify that questions are okay. And I'm sure other people have had questions about that. Because, spoiler alert, it happens again later. And in more ways than you would expect. So, yeah, that's all I've got for today. Ask questions. And be okay with not getting answers to the questions that you ask. That is my takeaway from today. As always, I am Tanaya Shea, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. I am going to go. Peace.